Hi guys, thank you for joining me. So we're doing another sewing project. I'm going to make a tote bag, and I've already done some prep work. I had this piece of fabric that was already this size, so we're just going to go with that. And I tore some handles off, and I'm going to make one long handle and two short handles, and I've already ironed these to get ready to sew. Okay, and I was going to show some Happy Mail first. This is from Angelica, and I'm uncertain. It's spelled, I'm sorry, Angelica, but I don't think you pronounce the G. And this is from Crafters Treats 2017. I entered her 50th birthday challenge. She said, "Thank you so much for your amazing entry. You really helped make this birthday celebration special. You filled my heart with your kindness and support." Aww. And for her, I made my first ATC and my first card. She wanted a homemade birthday card, so I made a card and an ATC. And looky here, she sent these. We'll be making these. Aren't they cute? Little envelopes or little bags. And then some stickers. Look how pretty. Look how pretty that is. And a red one. I saw these light bulb ones on Temu. Oh, that's so pretty. It's a butterfly with a bunch of flowers, and another butterfly, and another butterfly. So I have a bunch of Temu stickers too that make great Happy Mail. And Callan from Crazy Days of Callan and Crazy Callan Vlogs, I believe. Oh, and I did cover this up so you can see. The girl loves her stickers. She loves stickers. And, oh, Mindy, I'll save that stamp for you if you want it. Do you see it? It's a elephants. Oh, I'll save that for you. And then the girl loves stickers. And she went crazy with stickers. I have this card, and some of you have gotten a monogram doodle on that from me. And they're purple foil too. Aren't they pretty? And then she loves stickers. Have a wonderful, blessed, happy, peaceful, loving Sunday. For happy Easter, for Easter, look, there's a unicorn, there's a unicorn. Oh, so cute. That's pretty. So cute. And then she sent like a notepad of rainbow. And I made her a journal for when her dog passed away, her baby. So, I just adore Callan. Oh, I made her some monogram doodles too. So, I have uploaded the last one where I talked about Asperger's, and I put it in the title. I don't know how that's going to go over, but we'll see. So, I don't know what to think about that, but I just got it uploaded. So, these are going to be short handles, and this is going to be a long handle. And I'm going to show you a tote bag I made. And let's try not to wipe everything out. I don't know if you call it hand quilted. Okay, I quilted this myself on the sewing machine. The one we're going to make today isn't going to be this fancy. But I quilted this myself, and I made corners, and I made a bottom so it sits flat. I just put, what did I do? Oh, okay. Okay, well that was nice. So I will break it down and show you. It looks like I sewed in elastic to hold this in, and I just covered cardboard. I'm pretty sure I made like a little pillowcase for that kind of thing, because I wanted it to be washable. So I made a pillowcase kind of thing for that. And this is heavy. I made curtains out of this too. This is pretty heavy duty, nice fabric. And I didn't if I had a do-over, but I think it turned out pretty nice with the side seams and stuff. And if I had a do-over, I would have quilted the handle. I don't know why I didn't, but I made this tote bag for my daughter. And I don't know why I like making tote bags, so I made those arm things earlier. And now I'm making another tote bag. And I will go ahead and start sewing on this, and then I will show you how to make a bottom, like the bottom seams, okay? So let me pause you. Hope I'm not shaking the camera too much. Let me pause you, and I'm gonna start sewing on this, and I will tell you as I go, okay? Let me pause it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I thought I'd check in and let you know what I'm doing. So, I didn't show these very well. Let me see if I can get a scrap. Okay, I'll get a scrap out and show you. What I did for the little handles is they were like, you know, not quite this wide. Okay, so what I did was just fold this in. Let me see if this is hot yet. Yeah. This iron shuts itself off. And I folded that side in, you know, like that. You know, I left it, I don't know how wide that is. It's less than an inch. Okay? I did that all the way down. I folded both sides in, and then to sew it, I just folded it in half. I'm lazy about pinning. I don't know why. Well, it's the pinching that hurts. So this, I can lay it flat and do this kind of stuff, you know, whereas it's not pinching, like pinning is pinching. And my hand, I've had thumb surgery, so I can just do this and lay it flat, kind of thing, and then that's easier on my hands. So at some point making curtains, I figured out it's easier to iron than pin. Okay, there you go. There's a handy dandy tip. So then what I did was just sewed it down like that, and then that gave me a nice finished edge. See? And those are going to be the little handles. I didn't tell you what I did. Also, the other one, because I did something different, I didn't show you a trick I have. So I have these finger grippies on, and I put one on my thumb and of course my index finger. So then that helps you, like, we need to iron this flat, right? But it's hard to get it all the way out, right? So then if you use finger grippies, it brings, see, now if I'd iron that like that, it would be bunched up and not as wide. So I need that seam to be all the way out, right? See what I'm saying? And the finger grippies help. All right. So what this was, well, let's see how wide that is. And I didn't explain this very well either. Okay, this is like an inch and we'll say an inch and a quarter. So it was 2.5 inches plus the seam allowance. And what I did was sewed it wrong sides together. And then, you know how you use a safety pin to turn it inside out, right? Okay. So sometimes it helps to get a little bit of heat on that and then roll it out. A little bit of steam helps it roll out and stay how you want it. See what I'm saying? How do you all do this? Do you know what another trick to get that seam all the way out? And then you can pick one side to lay it on. You know, you can maneuver it to be one side. And see, I just think that's a neat way to line it up for your seams. Because I will go through and, I guess you call it, I will go through and top stitch this too. You know? So I ironed it in half just to give me a neat guideline, an easy guideline as I sewed it. And then turned it inside out. And now I'm rolling this seam to get it neat. Or is this not even something anybody messes with? For me, it's important for that seam to lay neat. You know? Like if you're sewing, okay, I'll relate it to curtains, because I sew a lot of curtains. You know, like if you're sewing, you know, for an edge or a pocket, you know, if you're sewing along the top to make a pocket, or if you piece together something, whatever. I do this, so then this seam would be on the back side. See? How you roll that back. And, like I said, I have bad hands, or no, I don't have bad hands. I worked at Toyota and it didn't work out. I tore my hand up real quick. I guess I'm not rugged enough. I had a bad shot. I had a bad job though. It was like 23 bolts in one pitch. So it was like 70 seconds. Like as a car went by, you know, like the cars go by overhead real slow, right? And every pitch was like a new vehicle came every 70 seconds or something like that. So I had 23, I was underneath the vehicle and I had to shoot 23 bolts. And it tore my hand up right quick. And I had to go out, and then I got put on another line after I came back, and that line was more manageable, but then eventually my hand went bad. And but they call it, I can't remember what they call it, rolling, maybe? I'm uncertain if they call it something or what they call it. Maybe rolling. Hold on, I'll tell you. I'm trying to get this lined up. Yeah, rolling, probably. Or close enough. But you had your palm full of bolts, and then you took, I can't even do it with that thumb, and then you took the next one, and you, as you were shooting with your one hand, your other hand was getting the bolt ready. So one hand's up with the gun, and then this hand you roll bolts and set the next bolt so you can just keep shooting. I think they called it rolling bolts, yes. And your thumb is not a fancy digit like your fingers. Your thumb is basically just a clamp. And that pitch they called each job on the line a pitch. That pitch did not agree with my hand at all. My hand tore up within like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or something. You know, when I was still in training. And then I had to go out, and then when I came back, I got put on an easier offside line. And I did it for over a year till my hand acted up. That looks a little skinny there, but that's just how it happened. I was trying to roll it out to... Now here I'm rolling, but I'm not doing it very much. I can roll a little bit. Here I'm saying my hand doesn't roll bolts, but I'm rolling fabrics, so there. I'm full of crap, eh? I'll be the first to tell you I'm full of crap. So I'm a little anxious about the last video. I don't know what I think about it. I don't know. I'm not sorry, and I won't take it down or nothing, but I'll be curious to see if I get any feedback. Or if anybody guessed. Like, yeah, I already knew that. I could tell that I had Asperger's. That'll be interesting. I was talking to my therapist about my craft room and storage and stuff, and how I like storage. You know, journals is a fine hobby, but I prefer the storage aspect of it. And then after I told her all about that, I told her I had Asperger's, and she was like, I could tell. I could figure, I see that. You know, she could tell just by the way I was talking about storage. And then I was making something else one time, and somebody commented that I must, maybe my drawers. And I can't remember who. Might have been Carrie Ann. I'm uncertain who. Somebody commented, you must be an engineer in a crafter's body, because I was making drawers. So, well, you know, I'm just going to have to say that's close enough. It's fine. So there. So I probably will. I don't know. I don't know if it needs it. Maybe it doesn't look like it needs it. I was going to say I probably will top stitch that. But this is pretty stiff fabric, so I probably won't do that. Also, on the other bag I did a lining. And this one, I'm not going to do a lining, so I'm going to do French seams, okay? And what all a French seam is, it sounds fancier than it is, okay? All you do is kind of what I did on the other thing I made. You sew wrong sides together. Sorry. You sew wrong sides together. Like normally to sew a seam, you would sew right sides together, right? Well, to do a French seam, you sew wrong sides together, so then you have a seam along here, right? Then you invert it and sew right sides together. So then what you do is this is a factory edge, but this is like like an edge, right? Well, I don't want all these frayed edges in my bag. So I will either, like the top, I will double turn it down to seal that seam. And then on the side, I will sew wrong sides together. Then, so you've got this, right? So then you turn it back and sew right sides together, and then what you're going to do is seal that seam inside a seam. It's just another step, and then that will seal that seam. And then I probably will, so I don't have a lumpy seam, you know, because that'll be that thick, right? And then what I probably will do will be sew it down flat, okay? And then that will ensure we don't have any raw edges in our bag, because I'm not going to line it. Because this is pretty strong fabric, and I don't feel a need to line it. And it's not going to be huge, so it won't, you know, be carrying the weight of the world, you know. So I will go sew this, like I said, and I haven't decided, and I can't ask you. You know, I'm tempted to make it long, but that's too long. But wide, yeah, I need to make it wide. It would be cool to do a longer one, but this will be a little bit too long. And so it'll just be, you know, landscape instead of portrait, I guess, eh? So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So let me show you what I did. For the top seam, like I said, I folded it down and then folded it down again. So that is sewn twice. Okay? And that just, again, I wanted all of my raw edges hidden, right? Okay? So I'm going to iron that. And I need to iron this. So I'm going to iron it before I sew anymore, because I don't know if I'm going to give it seams for structure. And I'll show you what else I sewed after I iron it. I will show you my French seams, eh? Doesn't that sound fancy? Which it's just an inside out seam, but I think it sounds fancy. I feel fancy when I do French seams. Do y'all do them? Do y'all know about them? Is that how everybody does it already? See, I don't watch a lot of tutorials. I want you to show me, and maybe I need to watch more tutorials and quit doing tutorials. Y'all give me feedback. I need to know feedback. I'm just making this up as I go along. But if I need feedback, give it to me, I want honest. I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to be annoying. So, this is our bag complete. And it's not wanting to line up again. What'd I do? Well, I guess we'll just iron it again. It shifted a bit. No, I want it like that. So something got shifted. Let's see. This end must have been a bit wrong, because the other end it looked good. Okay. Because see, that looked even. Now I don't know if I want to do. Oh! Let me finish showing you what I did. So this is an inside out seam, and then I stitched it down to just neaten it up so it wasn't this flappy seam, right? And then on the bottom, I didn't stitch all the way to the corner, and I will show you why. Because number one, I didn't want to catch anything, like starting right at the end. I didn't want to catch, layers, and it was hard to ensure that it was flat without catching, stuff. And then on this end, I went a little further, because that's the end I finished up with. So I went pretty close to the edge on this one. But so there's a French seam on the bottom and the side, and then the top I rolled down twice, so we don't have any raw edges showing. Neat? You like that? And this one is so wide, and I'm just doing this. I didn't, that's pointy enough. I didn't put a point turner in it. That's pointy enough. It lays down pretty flat. Now, I'm uncertain if I want to add the seams for structure, but I think it needs it. These side seams for structure. And I don't know if this bag will be too floppy to have structure, but we're going to try it. Okay, we'll do it. So what I need to do is, it doesn't need much structure. So I think I'm just going to go on either side. This is why I had to iron it flat, because that will be one. Okay. And then I'm going to fold it. Let's see, will I be able to do this? Yes. I should be able to. And then I'm just going to fold it on this side of that that I'm not going to catch, because up here it got to be quite a few layers, so I don't need to sew through a 1/2 inch of fabric. So I'm just going to sew this like that. Let me turn it this way so I can make sure I'm even. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to iron that right there. So this will have, you know, a couple inches, and that's okay. Let's see how much that is. That looks right at about 2.5 inches. So what I'm going to do to get it even is, I already have that one. Okay? Because I'm folding it flat, right? And then I'm going to take my ironing board is okay, and then I'm going to take this end and pinch it and shake it out. I'll have to start at this end and shake it out. Okay, so what I'm doing is shaking it out. I hope that muted it. I just turned the volume down. I've got another tickle in my throat. So then, to get this the right width, and that should be right under 2.5, just so barely under 2.5 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to line it up. See, I think ironing is easier, you know, than measuring and pinching and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Yes. Okay. Do all you use ironing as like a cheat for sewing? Now, I don't need to sew that all the way down, because to get our, now I'm going to have to do the side seams first, so I know the width. But what we're going to do is, okay, I will sew the side seams, and then I will come back and show you how we're going to make, I don't know, do you call it a gusset? Is that what it's called? And that is not quite enough. That is going in a little bit too much. We're just gonna iron it like that and see how our width is, because it was a little bit, it wasn't enough. It didn't look like enough. And that is like 2 3/8. 2 3/8. Yeah, that's even. I'm happy with that. Let's make sure this side's the same. 2 3/8. Cool beans. Oh, I better measure the bottom. 2 nope, that's too much. So I'm just going to fold it back a little bit. No, it's going off on this one. You can see it. Maybe when I sew it, I'll be able to see. Hold on. Golly, I think I need a cough drop. I had some somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where I did with them. So it's this seam. That was a bit too much. So let me just pinch that in a bit. Okay. Okay. I might pinch them both in a little bit because I want it to be even. Yep, they both need pinched in a little bit. Okay. Now let's see. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to go sew these, and then it will be, let me make sure. Then we're going to make a rectangle out of it. Okay? And then I will come and show you how we're going to do the bottom to make a flat bottom. I'm uncertain if it's called a gusset. I might Google gusset before I come back to see if I'm calling it something right. Hold on. Okay. So, I think I kind of screwed up. And I did Google it, and I can't tell if this is a gusset. I don't know. The definition is obscure, depending on where you look, you know? So, I did go ahead and give it the seams to give it shape, but it kind of messed up because it, because of this, it messed up. It was a struggle. And that area looks a little messy. But what happened was it got hung up on that ridge. And then I was shifting my needle to the left and right and stuff. It was hung up on that ridge. And then I was shifting my needle to the left and right and stuff, and that wasn't helping. So I had to start over and over and over. Well, if I trim it back, it looks neat enough. It's okay. See? That looks fine. But what I did was I messed up. I should have done these seams on equal sides of the corner. But we're going to see if we can figure it out. See there? I mean, I did pretty neat stitching. I mean, I don't know if you can tell how close and neat that is. You know? Let me move this up. So, I mean, it's pretty close. You know, that's my sewing machine. You know, it just does a good job. It does what you want. So, what we have to do is we have to give this a bottom corner to make the bottom flat. So, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it inside out, and we're going to see if I messed it up. And on this one, I think I didn't stitch all the way down because it'll be hidden, or I didn't want it, I was just running into trouble with the thicknesses, trying to get it that neat and close. So then I didn't stitch all the way down, just to save myself some grief. Okay? So, here we go. Now we stitch that one in, and that's fine. I don't care. So, see, here's our seams. And what we need to do is well, I'm just going to over sew it and then see how that works. Because we're wonky on our corner. And what this is I will show you. Because these aren't too bad. You know, see? There's my seam, and then I went a little, I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention. Let me show you something. Let me turn this inside out. So all you have to do to give this a bottom, and unless this is obvious to everyone, you just stitch across the corner. you flatten it out to about where you want to be, and then you just stitch across the corner, and then that gives you a flat bottom. Okay, that's what gives you a flat bottom, is you just pull the corner in and stitch across. And that's why, and see how this seam is in the middle, and I used the corner, the middle corner, right? So I don't know if I can do that. So what I need to do is stitch. I'm gonna have to, so at some point I need to stitch, I don't know, across the bottom here, and let's see if that gives it a bottom. Okay, so we're just gonna see if that gives it a bottom. Yes, it does. So I will just have to sew that across from here to here. I'll just have to find a spot. I'll fold it and find a spot in between those two. And hopefully that will make these the sides. What I should have done was recentered it instead of one seam on the left and one seam 2 inches in. I should have made this the middle and done a seam here and here. So this would have been the middle, and then all I would have had to do was sew across there to make the bottom flap. But since I offset it, we're gonna see if I can fix it. And I might not be able to. Crap. So what it is this is gonna be the thing, and then this I need to see if it'll work, or what angle to do it, or something. So somehow I've got to stitch across here, and you know, I've got a seam ripper, and this might just be wonky stuff in the bottom that will cover up with the bottom board, right? Ugh, dang it, I wish I hadn't done that. But now I'm showing you what not to do, and that's cool too. So there, we're just going to sew across there, and then we'll just see where this bottom ends up. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay guys, the struggle was real. My gosh. So my sewing machine got upset with me, I don't know. Sometimes when she does that, she's picky about bobbins. She doesn't like a half full bobbin. She's like, that's not enough for nothing. I need a full bobbin. And then there were some dust clumps in it. I had to do a little surgery. And third bobbin, we got her to work. So I had to change things because I could not get that worked out. So what I had to do was add another seam, structure seam, right? So then I could pleat it in the middle. See what I'm saying? Because I needed something. Whoops, there's a thread. So I sewed from seam to seam and then folded it over and sewed it down. Okay, so there's our bag, and I had to do that on both sides. And then see, I sewed it down, and then we need to give it handles. So I have 2 little ones that I'm uncertain how I'm going to do those. Okay, I might just do those from side to side. No, I'll just do those like that. And then I have a big handle that I will sew from end to end, because I thought options would be nice. And of course I will fold those in and sew over it so you can't see them. Okay, so I'm gonna sew on the handles, and then I will be right back, and then we will be done. Hi guys, so we're done, and I was gonna show you how I did this. I did that in the center, and I just what I did was I did a fresh trim so it didn't have any fuzz at the bottom, and then I did a tight zigzag, and then I cleaned it up with a finished zigzag, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. And I saved one. Well, maybe I didn't. Oh man, I thought I saved one to show you. I guess not. So what I did was zigzag, and you can see the bottom is, well, you can't. So, well, what I'm trying to say is, it was I started with a tiny zigzag, and my bobbin thread was yellow. So then I sewed it like that. Well, then this side had a yellow zigzag on it, you know. So then, just to clean it up, I did a wider white zigzag from the top stitch. So then that kind of cleaned up that yellow zigzag showing. Whenever I was trying all my bobbins, I ended up with yellow thread that I did. I tried pink, but that was only a half a bobbin, and she didn't like it. So so see, I just went over it with the white on the top, because that was yellow bobbin thread. Okay, so she's done. So these will tuck inside. So we've got two short handles to carry it as a tote, and one long handle if you even want to. It's big enough to wear it like as a crossbody. Okay, and I haven't done the inside pocket to make it fold up, and I might show that another time. You know, I'll be like in another video going, oh yeah, remember I told you about this? Here is the pocket. Because I do want to make a pocket for it to fold itself up, but I'm kind of done today. Oh, and this just got serious, guys. Carrie Ann commented on my last video saying, yes, I want to see how you make tote bags. And mind you, she is the queen of tote bags. She's the absolute queen. Her tote bags look like a work of art. So, golly. So this just got serious, guys, because Carrie Ann's going to see it. Oh, golly. I don't know what I think about that. So anyway, I'm going to make myself a purse, and I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make a... Let me see if I can draw something out and show you. It's going to be... When you look down, it's going to look like this. And I'll probably make a tablet pocket. So it's going to be big enough, wide enough for my tablet. And then these will be slots. Not that many. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to have my tablet portrait or landscape, and how many slots, and what fabric. I haven't decided any of that. But my new bag will have one pocket for my tablet, and then maybe 4 or 5 pockets for like my vape, my wallet, my insulin pen and tester. You know, I'll just go by what, you know, like Like my insulin tester is not much bigger than that, you know, so I'll make a pocket that big, you know, and I'll get out what I need to accommodate and how I want it. So the question is, I'm sorry, we're going through all that, but the question is, do you want to see that or not? And was this pausing throughout the video okay? Or do you want, because in the pauses I show you how I figure it out along the way and how I have to change plans, what I did wrong, how I fix it. You know, I don't know if that's helpful. That to me is helpful. What not to do is just as helpful as what to do, right? So I'm going to make a bag for myself. The question is, do you want to see a finished bag or do you want a process video? A process paused video. See what I'm saying? Okay? And if I decide to give this one a bottom, and if I decide to add a pocket, I will just show that in another video. Maybe my other bag video. I'll just give you an update on this one. What do you think? Also, what do you think? Do you think I need to give it structure, a bottom like I did this one? And, oops, shoot, sorry. Like I did this one, give it a bottom for structure. And that is still moving. Dang it, I'm sorry. Do you like that structure that I gave it? The bottom that I sewed in with, held in. I made a pillowcase for cardboard and I did a couple of elastic strips to hold it in. And this is now totally washable. So, do you think this one needs a bottom? And I guess, was that the only question? Maybe. And how do you want me to show my next bag with the sections? Okay? Thanks so much for watching. Love you. Bye.